Hey folks, Quillyteen here, and welcome to Out of This World Wednesday. Did a Reddit post to try to get some ideas for what people want to see for new games, because we need a new game for Wednesday, and actually we need a new game for Saturday as well, since we did finish Dwarf Fortress last weekend. I was curious to see, what would be the top voted things, and the 3 top voted things came in as Factorio and RimWorld and Kerbal Space Program. And I think Saturday is going to be some RimWorld. But today, we are making the return to the glory that is my microphone in shot of Kerbal Space Program. Now, of course, we need a hat to wear for today. The first thing, what I would love to wear, but I can't, is this wonderful hat that Paradox made during the early marketing days for Stellaris. It was a great hat, a brilliant reference to something that was just funny and silly and something that no one took too seriously. And then it was a great joke until it wasn't much of a joke anymore. But man, wouldn't it be great to just be able to wear this hat and not have everyone go kind of bonkers? Ew, that's awkward. All right, so we'll put it there. I have my Kerbal cosplay hat over here if I want it. But I think, knowing with how things are going to go, what we're going to do is, of course, go for maximum safety here. Get the eye protection, our helmet, and I hope everyone is equally equipped for safety, because it's going to get pretty dangerous here. Now, of course, I can't see anything with these on, so I'm going to have to take them off. But, it was a good idea. Wow. In fact, I think this hat would have been great for Factorio. Instead, I think we're going to go with Commander Kerbal as our look over here. I think we'll do that. We'll keep the safety glasses on, of course. I think they work just as well. I think they work just as well up here. I think we'll all agree. That is sufficiently safe. As long as we got enough safety lights on our ships, we should be okay, right? Exactly. Incognito says you can't see anything. It's KSP. It's perfect. And the Stapler says requires more safety lights. We got some. Oh, I don't actually have Streamlabs open. Let me open that up so I can actually see what just came into the Whiskey and Chocolate Fun. We have a lot of mods. If you haven't done it already, you can do ! Mods or ! What game. You get a link to the mods for this. One of the very exciting things, though, is that I do have a mod to draft Twitch viewers, which we have used before, and we will be using that. All of our pilots, in fact, I currently have, that's the wrong button. I currently have no pilots. We started off with a few pilots, Jebediah and Bill and Bob and Valentina, and I was like, those pilots suck. What we need are random Twitch viewers, obviously. Those are the only proper, the people who are enough of maniacs to do this. Quiet Tony, thank you very much. So I'm just going to put this out there. Calling KSP a flight simulator might be a bit ambitious. KSP is a stylish falling simulator. I mean, an orbit is really just falling forever. Right? Just falling with style. Steal a line from a popular movie. No, you don't have to hashtag name. In fact, let me make sure that giveaway is... Yeah, the giveaway's not running. Don't spam the chat with hashtag name. That's not how it works. It's literally just going to pull the names from chat. If you're just watching the stream, you don't even have to type anything. If you're watching the stream, you can be girafted, whether you want to or not. Prepare to die. Prepare to die. It's going to be terrible. Okay. Orbit is literally moving forward so fast you miss the planet when falling. Exactly. So we do have a lot of mods loaded in, including the popular disaster inviters of, life support mods, TAC life support, so we can have some horrible deaths happen that way. For the first time, though, I am running with the deep freeze mod, which is going to be interesting, because one of the things with the life support thing is it's great if you're just dealing with things in orbit, including space stations, or for trips to like the moon or Minmus, because you have a pretty good idea as to what the trip time is going to be. The problem comes when we're going to some of the further planets. Unless we really look into our launch windows and things like that, and we can do that work, you can do that math and time things in such a way, then it can be very fussy to know exactly how long the trip will be, and we can be talking about like plus or minus 100 days, if not considerably more. With the deep freeze mod, what we can do is we can cryogenically freeze our Kerbals for the trip. During that trip, they will not consume supplies, and then we can thaw them out at the destination and then do the same thing on the return trip. So I think that'll be a good balance between things. I'm playing on the default difficulty. Technically, I turned off the respawning of Kerbals, which only applies to the starter ones anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But yeah, if you die, you die. I do have the ability to revert and stuff. Most of it's going to happen if we have a really wonky launch. You know, it was just a simulation. We're just going to pretend kind of thing. But other than that, there's going to be there's going to be some prices to be paid for some of these missions. Luckily, you'll be paying for it with your own lives, so that's going to be fine. Boo, 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 boo. Cynthia, I don't know.
Whiskey and chocolate.
Oh, we got more whiskey and chocolate. Who dat? Refresh faster, please. Looncoal, thank you! Celebrating my tax return after many years of loving your content. Well, thank you, Looncoal. I just had to deal with some tax stuff this morning. Ugh, so frustrating, so annoying. That's the price we pay to live in a functional society, I suppose. Some of you may die, exactly, etc., etc. Okay, fishing for a KSP2 sponsorship. I mean, I don't, you know, as long as I can get to play KSP2, I'm super excited. Hopefully it actually comes out this year. Keeps being delayed, but you know, a delayed game can be good eventually, maybe, or something like that. So let's do the standard. First of all, I guess we're gonna go and, well, actually, we don't even need a pilot right away, because one of the mods I'm using has reshuffled the tech tree around a little bit. It's another one that sort of puts the unmanned stuff first. Although, unlike there's a mod that's called something like unmanned first or something like that, it doesn't push back the manned stuff quite as far. But our first launch will indeed be just with a probe. So that'll be interesting. Let's go ahead to the mission control over here, grab our first missions. So we got our exploration thing here. Explore the atmosphere, or escape the atmosphere, yes. Get scientific data from Kerbal. We'll do that right away, and launch your first vessel. Easy peasy. We'll get those going. Helco! Remember to take your ice cream soup when you're going to Minmus. God, it's been so long since we played this. I forgot about it. All like Minmus is made out of like chocolate chip mint ice cream, right? Do you have the mod that adds warp drive late in the tech tree? I don't think so, but maybe. Hold on. Apparently, yes. I do have FTL at the end of the tech tree over here. So I've never played with it. I think it's, what's it called? Beyond Future Tech? No, Interstellar? Interstellar, I don't know. But apparently, yes. I don't know what the mod is. You guys can look through my mod list. But yeah, apparently, eventually we would potentially gain the ability to go FTL. I don't think I have like multiple star systems installed, although I think we could add that after the fact. Anyway, let's go ahead and launch our first ship right away. Get a little bit of early science and see what we can do. Would you recommend mods for a first timer? No, Castor, I would not. It used to be, yes. There were two mods that I would say. One in particular, Alarm Clock, was really handy. And another one was something that would calculate your Delta V for you, which would either be Mech Engineer or Mech Jeb. But those functions are now built into Kerbal Space Program. So there's no required mods at all for a first-time player in any way. And it'd probably be a lot cleaner not to do it. So, you can see simple mode for now. Our pods here, we actually start with the Probodobodine Steputnik, as opposed to the Mark 1 command pod, because of how we've got it modded. So this will be an unmanned, or an unkerbaled launch. We have no fuel tanks, and the only engines we have is the FM1 Might solid fuel booster over here. Oh, let me move my, let me move this to...
It's whiskey and chocolate!
Fine spot for it. Lock position. Bison puts in on me since I don't see the treats, namely. I did disable it for today, just because I did eat right before the stream, and we are planning on having dinner together. But thank you very much for the thoughts, and maybe I'll get myself put in tomorrow for lunch. Anyway, let's get the SRB on here. We're going to want to make a little ajustement to this in a second. But before we get there, let's look at any other parts that we have access to at the start, because actually, I partially don't know. Some of the parts we're going to have are going to be a little bit different here because of the various mods. We should throw some fins on here for some stabilization. Oh, that's funny. There's like there's a little place I can mouse over that puts the fins on backwards, which looks really cool. Like, I'm getting some sort of like a little bit of a TIE interceptor kind of vibe. Obviously, this would be pointless, but doesn't it look really cool? Anyway, let's make sure they get put the right way around over here. like so. Now, one of the things that's interesting with this is we could consider having these offset a little bit so that our rocket actually spirals or spins, rotates on the way up, which would give it some centrifugal stability. Because the thing with the Steputnik over here is it has no reaction control wheels. We have no ability to steer it or do anything like that, so it can start to flip out and stuff. I think it's going to be a bit moot because I think we're going to have a very cautious launch of about like that far off the ground, just to say that we can do it. Any other parts we have access to right now? We do have access to some antennas, but we don't need those because we're not going very far. Let's talk about science, though. We got a few pieces here. We definitely want to get some scientific instrument tests, mostly from the launch pad itself. We've got the 2-hot thermometer. Let me turn off the symmetry mode over here. We'll put you over there. What else we got? We got the computer flight unit. Now, some of these things might be from a mod, some of them might be built into the game, but from a newer patch than I'm used to, and some of the things might be things that have always been included in the game that I've just forgotten about. So the computer flight unit is not a part I'm familiar with, but I think is related to the Comtech stuff and more science. I'm not sure. We'll throw that. I should put it at the bottom just to keep it a little bit more weight stable. I'm wondering if this is like getting a flight report, but for unmanned. What else we got here? Oh, there's the Kerbal engineering system, which is under science, but we don't need it. In fact, I don't usually play with Kerbal engineer. I might end up removing it. We will see, because it's a bit redundant with what MechJeb has, but I figured I'd leave them both in for now, and then we'll see. And then the press mat barometer we'll put over there. So we are going to be a little lopsided weight-wise. Yeah, that thing is huge, but I think that'll be okay. Okay, so the last thing we want to do is this. For the SRB, we actually can't control it. All we can do is have it go, and that's it. And then it'll go until it stops. By default, the thrust to weight ratio, so the amount of thrust you get from this rocket versus the weight of our entire rocket, is a little aggro. It'll go pretty aggressively. And you do want it to be fairly aggressively for different things, but it can make it a little harder to control depending on the ratio. And actually at a 2.71, that's actually fine. But here's the big thing I want to change, is the amount of fuel in here. Because right now it'll go for a fair distance, and then it'll run out of fuel, and it'll crash back down to the ground. Because, as it turns out, oh, we do have access to a parachute right now. So we actually could do that. Maybe, you know what? Can I, oh, I can put a parachute in front of this thing? I was kind of assuming I couldn't. Still, there's no reason for us to go very high. I basically just want a few seconds of burn just to get off the ground. In fact, I thought I could go a little finer control. If I could just get this to hop and then come down just enough to satisfy the contract, that would be cool. But what I'll do is I'll give it a little bit more. We'll go with 9 seconds of burn time. Yeah, I'd say 14 seconds of burn time. We want to get high enough that when we deploy the parachute can properly deploy and come down, but we don't need to go very far. So we'll see if that'll work. I don't think there's any other parts we have access to currently. It wouldn't be bad if we had like the support like strut for, you know, on the ground to launch from, but this will have to be okay. What are we going to call our first ship? Well, you know what? Oh, do I not have the button for the Twitch viewer on the screen? That's actually a shame. Because I was like, we could name this after the first Twitch viewer. Maybe chat just has a suggestion, an idea for what this little guy. He's kind of cute with a big round head, kind of like a baby. You know how babies like have proportionally like ridiculously oversized heads? The Fling. I like the Fling Mark 1. And yeah, staging wise, we're fine. First one is the ignite the SRB. Second one is going to deploy the parachute. I like it. So we're gonna go ahead and launch. And actually, we're gonna do a bunch of stuff from the launch pad.
It's whiskey and chocolate.
Hello! Check your staging. And yeah, we have no access to safety lights right now. It's terrible, terrible news. Alrighty. Rocket is in place. What I can do is bring up the science here, which is a nice little helper that will let us save us a few clicks. So the temperature scan, the atmospheric pressure. So yeah, this flight unit, verbose simulation log. I don't know. Maybe it's for something else. I'm not sure. Anyway, we can get some science from the launch pad over here, and we're gonna go ahead and do that. We'll test to make sure things work okay. So normally you'd right click on one of these and you'd go log pressure data. You can make your life simpler with the X science over here. So we're just gonna hit this button. There we go. It's gonna collect the atmospheric data, perfect. And the temperature scan, the same thing. So we'll grab a little bit of science over here. And the thing is, I could at this point, and what I should do, and screw it, what I will do, I will go and cancel our flight over here. Persistent rotation, I can hide this, hold on a sec. There you go. Groovy. Oh, there it is. I was like, hold on, how do I do this? It's been so long since I played. I'm going to recover this vessel right away. It's going to be our first little test. We're just testing the electronics. And the bonus of this is we get to make sure we collect the science from the launch pad. I mean, there'll be plenty more science we got to get from the launch pad. But we'll do this, and it means our experiments will be available, again, for the next launch. It actually also completes our first contract, which is to get a little bit of science. So we can, like, ask for the second one now if we want to escape the atmosphere. But we're just going to go back to the launch pad. We'll grab our Fling Mark 1, and we are going to launch this. Now we'll actually do it. Success, we use a thermometer. We bring it back to base, check that the numbers match what we got from our little thermometer that's like suction cup to the outside of the window in command central. We confirm that the atmospheric pressure is about 1 atmosphere, which all sounds pretty good. Excellent. Now we're gonna put the rocket back out here, and we've reformatted the drives on our science experiment, so we've got some more room in there, and we're gonna go for launch. 3, 2, 1, go! Woohoo! Yeah, that 2.7 thrust to weight ratio is pretty aggro. But with the fins, we've got enough stability, which is good. And actually, the thrust ratio went better because when we pull the fuel out, this is a much lighter thing, so it's an even more aggressive launch. But that's looking lovely. Yep, very happy with that. And hey, we can run our temperature and atmospheric scans over here, sort of at the peak of our arc. So we'll grab that, and we'll grab that. They're worth more science. And we are about to hit complete 0, and now we're starting to ascend. Let's go ahead and deploy the parachute and see what we can recover. Now, normally I would like to launch at a slight angle over the sea for all kinds of different safety reasons. What if the chute didn't deploy? What if we ripped the chute off? What if something else happened? Because it's entirely possible that depending on where our center of mass was, based on our experiments, we could have accidentally drifted over on top of the space center, which would have been real bad. Real bad. As is, it's not going to come down on any building. It might come down a launch pad, but it should be coming down slowly enough. Oh, the chutes look different. Neat. It should be coming down slowly enough to not cause any actual damage. Here's the hope. The parachute is not fully deployed right now. It'll fully deploy at 1 kilometer, right? I think. Unless something has changed. And there we go. It is fully deploying. And the speed is going to drop just lovely. Now, is it still... What is the time acceleration? Is it dot and comma? Can't remember. It's been such a long time. Ah, there it is. 4 times warp. Bum 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 bum. Ba da 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 da. Ba da da da. Ba da da da. Ba da da da. This is normal warp, or physics warp, I guess. Yeah, you can't do the non-physics enabled warp in the atmosphere. And doing the physics warp can be risky if you've got a complex ship, because sometimes with the at times 4 speed, the physics can't quite keep up with things and things shake themselves apart. This is a pretty simple ship. We got a bit of a texture scheme over there, but it might have to do with the various visual enhancements I've got going on. I like how the mountains look with this visual texture pack. Actually, it's less of a texture pack, I think, and more in shaders and things that I've got running on over here. Yeah, beware the Kraken, exactly. Now, I wonder, is my X hotkey... Excellent! It still has my old keybinds, which is great. I have, like, X by default is set to 0 at the throttle. I have it do double duty. It kills the time warp and still does the 0 throttle. X is like my emergency button, and it's lovely. And look at that, we might actually land balanced on our engine. It might topple over. Oh, so sexy! In reality, those that little rocket exhaust thing is really fragile, but we can recover the vessel, complete a mission, which was to launch our first rocket, and get even more science. Chef's kiss. Physics warp a lot better than it used to be at one point. You basically guarantee rate the ship. Yeah, I mean, faster CPUs help to handle it better, but the physics are a lot more stable as well. I can't remember. I may even have auto strut turned on or something, which is, I think, is an option. I don't remember if I do. Excellent. Let's go back to mission control. And yeah, so we could take the orbit Kerbal mission as well, because right now we have the capability to have 2 contracts going at a time. And it would give us an advance of 16,000 Kerbal bucks, but it's going to be a little bit before I actually orbit Kerbal. So I'd like to keep that open. Because what we could do is we could get some of these part testing contracts if we need some extra money or something like that. We will see. I'm not going to accept anything right now. Our next mission is to escape the atmosphere. Lovely. Let's go and unlock some science. Research and development. We're going to grab basic rocketry over here, which will give us liquid fuel engines, which is going to be great. And basic vehicles over here. Solar panels, illuminator. It's not the safety light. Actually, I guess we don't really... These don't really do anything for us. We need 45 science for survivability, which will give us our Mark 1 command pod, which normally you start with. I can't afford general rocketry, and I don't need basic aviation. That won't really do anything for us right now. But we can get a little bit more science. What we can do is we can launch a little something from the runway. Because you can do science in each individual biome, and here the runway and the launch pad are different biomes. So we still can't do anything too fancy, but we'll have to have at least one of these central little things, and then what we can do is we can just slap on a thermometer, and apparently a barometer over here. Excellent. And we can launch that, and we can check to see if the temperature is the same at the runway as it was at the launch pad, because you never know. In fact, if we were playing with the normal version of the game, we'd be able to do a lot because the Mark 1 command pod does have reaction wheels, so you can actually like roll it around a little bit. Temperature scan, atmospheric pressure, recover vessel, science! Well, Balth said, you've never actually played this game that you own. Oh, it's worth it. The thing is, getting your first rocket to orbit is a huge achievement. And it can be taken for granted because after you've done it, the thing is, like, you know, you're leveling up sort of the game, right? We're unlocking more science, but the biggest part of this game is unlocking things within yourself, within your own mind. Do I want to go for more rocketry? Let me just hold on to our science points for now. And so yeah, once you've gotten to orbit the first couple of times, then you just have that skill unlocked forever. Okay, let's see. Our mission is to leave the atmosphere. Let's see if we can do it with the parts that we've got right now. First landing on the moon is way bigger than your forced orbit. I don't know. No, I disagree. I've watched new players, people who are new to the game, struggle for hours upon hours upon hours to get to orbit the first time, if something doesn't click. It feels like, it famously has been said by actual rocket scientists that if you can get into orbit, you're halfway to the moon. Which is sort of a testament about, you know, Delta V's and various things like that. But it's actually kind of true in Kerbal Space Program as well. Once you get to orbit, you're halfway to the moon. Doesn't mean there's not another learning curve to get to the next step. But for a lot of players, the hardest part is that first orbit. So right now we're not going for orbit. We're simply looking to see if we can make it to space. And the trickiest part over here, okay, we do have decouplers now. The trickiest part over here is that we still don't have any flight control, and because of the way I've got it modded, normally at this point you'd have some. You might have to sacrifice a Kerbal. The plus side is we could do this completely unmanned. If we just grabbed the biggest SRB we've got, I think we can hit space with this, as long as we don't flip out, which is going to be the big problem, which might be the case. So instead, we'll probably have to do a two-stage thing, because I'm assuming none of these SRBs have some like sneaky little like gimbling in them or anything like that. So I think we are going to do a two-stage push where we're going to have a few. Was it control click? I thought it was shift click. Alt. There you go. A little bit of liquid tanks, and we are going to have a swivel liquid engine on this. This has gimbling, which is going to give us some ability to steer. And it's going to be very important because by the time we get high in the atmosphere is going to be so thin that we're not going to get stability from our fins. So then we're going to go ahead and get a decoupler. Oh, it's tiny. Hopefully it works. I don't think we even need this thing. Wait, what? Well, not always the size. Well, that's funny. Well, that looks a little awkward. Oh, is it because it's called a shrimp? No, they're all... Oh, it's the flea. Yeah, but we don't have a decoupler that's sized for this. Interesting. Thrust weight on this upper stage is still actually kind of crazy. Hang on. We have a lot of excess power left here. Single stage liquid rocket? That's enough Delta V to make it to space, and then some. I'm concerned as to whether or not we'll have appropriate flight controls. This does have gimbling. This might just explode, but you know what? Let's launch it for science. Put a little hat on him, because you need a hat. Let's launch this for science. We're not planning on bringing this home, not doing anything. Our thrust weight is over 2, which is kind of aggressive, but fine. I guess the surface level thrust is 1.8, but that's fine. Does it match over here? Yeah, it matches over here, which is fine. This is the MechJeb one, which is the one I tend to look at. Yeah, I'll probably end up disabling Kerbal Engineer Redux, which I like and is great. And I think I actually like there's some pop-ups in flight that I like more with KER. Maybe that's why I use it. Let's see what this will do. It'll probably be terrible. And yeah, we can always throttle down and things like that, but this should be a stable thrust weight. If it's not, yeah, I can throttle back a little bit on lunch. Let's give this a go. This is gonna be the YOLO Mark 1. Because it's probably going to be doomed. Well, this is definitely not coming back. We have no parachutes on it. Intentional. Hey, Buff! Thank you. What was the rest of your message? Long time no see. Work's been kicking my butt, but hey, it's all been worth it. Got a big promotion. Enjoy some Tang and astronaut ice cream on me. Thank you very much, Buff. I did have astronaut ice cream a long time ago. When I was a kid, we visited Science North here, which is a science center in town, and I bought the astronaut ice cream, and it was not very good. I could have a parachute, but there's nothing that's worth bringing back. I have no science instruments on this. I'm just trying to do super cheap flight to see if it's possible. I have no idea if this is going to work. We're going to find out. In a 3, and a 2, and a 1, and a... Woohoo! All right, so far so good. So I'm going to try to initiate a bit of a gravity turn at 100 meters per second or so. Now, just barely. I'm just going to go barely off center because actually my only intention is to go straight up and hit just the edge of space, which is 70 kilometers. I just don't want it to come straight down onto our science center. So that's a little bit. Oop, yeah, we're starting to get some wobbling. We don't actually have SAS over here, so it's all manual. Now the fins, theoretically, should help keep it towards prograde. Wapsis 23. This is how if we were to cut the fuel right now, we'd expect it to hit about here. It'll be a little less than that because of atmospheric drag, but as soon as this goes above 70, we should be good to hit space. Okay, I'm gonna ramp up to full throttle again. When you start to see the atmospheric effects here, it can lead to a little bit of instability and flippage. Again, I give this at best 50-50, and even then, I think that's a little over-enthusiastic as to... Well, the height's good now. Yeah, and that's actually super amounts of overkill. Yeah, we are definitely going into space, and then some. And that's the thing, I was like, I think we have way excessive fuel. I actually don't know how much Delta V we need to go into space. I usually just think of it in terms of what I need to go orbit, which we didn't have quite enough for that, although it was pretty damn close. We might only need like 1,500 Delta V or something total to go into space. Anyway, we're now in space. That is a contract completed. We're good. I might have been able to make an orbit, not anymore. Whee! Whee! Oh, how lovely! How beautiful! Oh, I think we're accidentally going to bomb another country here. Let's see where we land. Yeah, orbit might have been possible there. But it would have been pretty awkward with the lack of controls. There we go. Burns up on re-entry. Totally okay. Everything kind of worked exactly as designed over here, which shocks me. But that will be another contract completed. We have Into Space. How come you not give me my completion? That's weird. Like, why am I not getting a mission failure message? There it goes. That was weird. No, we're not going to revert. This was a huge success. Let's go back to the Space Center. Catastrophic failure. What a lie! It is, exactly, it is a scheduled rapid deconstruction. I guess it did look like there was a little part, I could see like a little range indicator. There's probably one of our fins survived or something was still being simulated somewhere. Oh, we got so much money from these missions. Beautiful. Next mission is to orbit Kerbal, which honestly, we should be pretty close to do here. The only question is, do we have enough science to unlock all our parts to do that? So another, like, if we went here and we got ourselves some of these other, I guess we don't get the Terrier. Do we get that over here? There's the Terrier, which is usually what I use, but honestly, some of these little guys might work just fine. Although I do have enough, we could try some man stuff. Oh, go on! Wait. Is the tech tree broken? Requires man technology, but... My mods might be slightly broken. Looks like it's still right. Oh, it's over here. Requires basic vehicles. Oh, it's just not listed straight. Okay, you go basic vehicles into man technology. And then you can get survivability, which is the pod. Now, man technology gives us access to the Onion reentry module. Oh, I'm sure this is going to be terrible. I love it. Let's do it. Okay, now that's lit. So, okay, and it looks like it's not the only place where the tech tree with my mods is not being listed properly. So yeah, aviation requires flight control. Too bad you can't click on this, which is over here. Yeah, it's not drawing the line straight. Okay, that's fine. We can deal with that. We can cope with that. That's gonna be okay. Tech tree spaghetti. Hey, it's like we're playing Factorio anyway. Okay, so we got that. Let's go into the VAB. Now, what I'm curious about, let's do a new design over here. So the Onion reentry vehicle. The design bureau cried when the finance department cried, that's your lot. So it's got a crew capacity of 1. Apparently has an ejector built in. Interesting. Blader, cargo pad, command. So yeah, a lot of this is modded or new to me. It looks to me, this does not have reaction wheels. Okay, that's good to know. Ooh, comes with variants. Not much of a difference. Okay. Oh, do I have twig scale running? Ooh, that's good to know. Rather than go into orbit, I don't know, it kind of feels like if we're following actual history, what we should be doing is putting an unmanned probe into orbit next. I gotta say, this is really gorgeous with the hex pattern. And we know we can do it. I do get some science. The nice thing is, if we do the man thing over here, we can get a little bit of science out of it. In fact, one thing we could do... Wait, what do you mean you don't have a man command module? Is this not actually a command module? It's not actually a command... must include a pilot. Oh. We don't have a pilot. Maybe that's why. Hang on. Let's get ourselves our first pilot. Now, first what we're going to do is we're going to just put them on the launch pad, get them to a report. And then we'll do the same thing on the runway. Von Worthington, thank you very much! What does a Kerbal and a calendar have in common? Its days are numbered! I can't believe you would say such a thing. Oh my god. Alright, we're going to draft our very first pilot. And the winner is... is Zixi! ZZY-XKI. It's a very alien name. You have been drafted as a pilot. And indeed, there you are, right over here. Oh boy. Alright. Let's get ready for this. So yeah, we'll, parts with crew capacity, available. Okay, good. You're in there. And let us launch this, unnamed space. It's not a spacecraft. Doesn't need a name. Kerbal hard mode, you can't kill any Kerbals you lose. Wow, full roguelike. Well, we do have permanent death activated for everything here. All right, lovely. Let's go ahead and get a crew report. Is everything good in the capsule? Oh, it's a little tight, is it? A crew report from Launchpad. I'm like, wait, did Launchpad actually get picked as my pilot? Launchpad's in the chat, but I got a little confuzzled. Boom, 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 boom. Let's move this down here for a sec. And yeah, we can't do the EVA. Although I have the money, I'm betting. Hold on. If I go to the Space Center, if I upgrade the astronaut module, I can do EVAs. Hang on a sec. Okay, load time. What the hell, Ben? How do we do it? Upgrade. We can perform EVAs. It's quite expensive, but we will get some more science out of this. I think it's fine. We can always take some testing contracts. So now if we go back over here, we can do an EVA test. Basically, we're just checking to make sure the door works. It's sort of a safety test. Wait, oh, okay, maybe you can't EVA from this. No, you got this. Oh, the EVA report button was disabled. Maybe I could have always done this because we were on the ground. Shit. Maybe the other one was just EVA in space. There you go. We'll take an EVA report. Make sure everything's looking good. Excellent. Let's climb out. Let go. How do I climb back in? Grab. There it is, board. I was just in the wrong spot. Oh, it is giving me some blubbles. There's probably some other EVA report. Oh, as I'm shuffling, I think we're temporarily off the ground for a split second. But there you go. We'll reboard. Excellent. Successful mission. This EVA report. This feels stupid. I'm still on the ground. I did have one of the old mods I used to run had a bunch of extra EVA or like bunch of science reports. They were hilarious. For you, not good. Thanks for the bits. All right, see, we get a little bit more free science, which is nice. And here, let's do a similarly cheesy thing over here at the. Well, no, we'll wait until we get more science before we cheese the launch pad some more. Okay, let's threaten Zixi with fiery death. Let's try to at least put her into space. We could do orbit. Just nervous. I suppose we really could. What engines do we have access to right now? I guess the swivel engine is perfectly fine in a vacuum. Parachute. We haven't actually recovered science from space either. I don't like this tiny little decoupler. It feels weird, but it's probably fine. I'm gonna do a 2-stage launch. I do have the tweak scale thing, but I'm mostly going to avoid it. I'm mostly going to use the parts as is. Why is the staging so borked by default here? Wait, this comes with its own decoupler? What is the re-entry module? It has a stage. No, I know I put one on here. Like, I put the little baby one on here. Does it actually have its own decoupler? I guess it did have an ejection force. Decoupler. Oh! So I don't need this. I can do this. Unless it's just an ejection seat, yeah. Now, level 1 pilot can at least do stability SAS, right? Yeah, the length is going to be a little bit rough because this can lead to instability. We might have our first death here. This is not a safe design. This is a very safe rocket Mark 1. This is not a very safe design. Just don't tell Zixi that that's the case. So, okay, KSP, what's it called? Computer Flight Unit. What is this? Oh, this is part of KER, isn't it? Oh, yeah, okay. So that's just so that we can get the Kerbal Engineer in flight. That's what those two are there for. Okay. Let's go ahead. We're going to get a pair, oops. We're going to get a pair of thermometers and a pair of barometers, because we should be able to do high orbit and then space test. Spoiler alert, the pressure of the air in space is going to be 0. And we don't have access to safety lights, because I think that would be under utility over here. No safety lights. We have illuminators, that's not the same. That's not what we want. This, I mean, I thought the last one was going to go badly. I feel like almost 100% certain this one will go badly. But let's go. We're definitely going to go to space. Well, unless we blow up before then. Which, again, about 50-50. Orbit is going to very much descend. The problem I'm concerned about is I'm not sure we're going to be able to maintain an ascent profile that's going to be optimal for the Delta V we've got. We'll see. SAS on. Throttle to full. Turbines to maximum. Parts of it might go into space, yeah. We do have a parachute. I still don't actually, I'm assuming that this is a decoupler that works the way I think. I actually don't know 100% for sure how this decoupler works, so tons of disaster might happen. Staging looks good. First engine, then I suppose what I could do is I could separate the decoupling from this, but I don't think that's what I'm going to want to do. I think I'm going to want the next stage to fire immediately, because otherwise we're going to lose attitude control very quickly here. What could possibly go wrong? Decouple your parachute? What, do you think the decoupler... I assume the decoupler is at the bottom of this thing, not at the top. Maybe that's not how this works. I really should test this part on the ground first to know for sure what the decoupler in this capsule does. It's going to be fine. No, there really should be a little... I should give it like... I should hit it and then a second after hit the engine. All right. It's just without SAS, as soon as this engine stops here, we're not going to have any more attitude control. It's going to be scary, but we'll see. 3, 2, 1, go! Whee! All right, and yeah, we have less thrust to weight than before. So it's a much gentler launch. And that means we are a little bit more susceptible to gravity drag here. But it should be all right. And then, yeah, the general rule of thumb is about 1 kilometer or 100 meters per second. Give yourself 5 or 10 degrees drift towards the east over here. Especially if you're going orbital, which is sort of our intention. Right. Okay. Let's keep going. And I think I tend to target at around 15K. I'd like to be about 45 degrees tilt, thereabouts. It's been a long time since I've played, so like my internal timings are probably going to be weird. Stability feels good so far. So yeah, we have a little bit of atmosphere, like stability from the atmosphere with the fins. At some point the atmosphere thins out, so we don't get that. But the fact that we've got gimbling on the engine is helping. Okay, I might be a little flat here. It's a little flat. The flatter you are, the more efficient your burn, but with the exception that you do have to make sure to leave the thick air. Because going to orbit, I've said it before, and we'll say it again. Going... Oh, shit, that happened way too fast! Abort! Abort! Let's give a little bit of thrust so we can get some steering control in here. Get a crew report. Oh, I'm feeling kind of sick and dizzy. Okay, excellent. And detach. Okay. This is exactly what I was saying. When the one engine stage flares out, we might have a problem where we lose control. We could have had a second stage of fins, or the thing is, maybe I could make it there with just the one stage. I could certainly make it to space with one stage. Whether or not we came back safely, I don't know. But here we're gonna be fine. We got a little bit of science out of it. Great. Can I do EVAs? I can do an EVA here, but with the wobbling, and because we don't have any reaction wheels on here, I can't manually stop it wobbling. Oh my god, there's gonna be Zixi vomit all over here. We're gonna have to clean it up like crazy. Oh, it's getting a little more stable. If it stops wobbling, I might give it a try. At least, especially when the parachute is fully deployed. Then we won't even be going very fast. Right now, my concern would be getting blown off this thing, which might be poor. You should tell Zixi to collect a soil sample right now. Oh, there we go. All right. Well, we got stable. Okay, let's let the physics warp go, and then yeah, when we hit 1 kilometer, the parachute will fully deploy. Our speed will drop very quickly, and I think we'll risk having Zixi do an EVA report. And then you could also collect the science from the crew report, which would let us repeat it a second time, which would be nice. Okay. 3 kilometer, or 300, 200 meters, 100 meter, and full deployment now. Ooh, G-forces! And now we're going very slowly, so let's take a bit of a risk. EVA. EVA report, done. We're going to take the data. We're going to restore the data. We're going to hit B for board. Beautiful. And, oh, I can't take another crew report? Is that not biome-based? While flying? Yeah, no, we can take this. I'm surprised it's not popping up. Yeah, I can get that for more science. Excellent! Okay. So we did not into orbit, but Zixi is still the first Kerbal to launch over here. Yeah, I knew there'd be a problem with instability there, for sure. We might, in fact, I think what we want to do is build a little rover. And then we can drive around and pick up some science from the Kerbal Space Center over here. I think that's an excellent idea. I think, with that in mind, we should recruit a scientist. You remember the accidental atmosphere entry EVA? I don't know what you're talking about. We're gonna get more temperature and atmosphere scan for some bonus money. And actually, oh, we're going to get seasick now. We should be able to EVA here, take an EVA report, and we'll take the data and store the data, because you can only have one crew report going at a time. Not all items can be stored. Crew report while flying over Kerbal water already stored. Oh, okay, that's fine. So that extra one will get dumped, but I can get a crew report here. I guess the first crew report was flying over the water. That's what the confusion was. I didn't realize both were from flying over the water. Look at us bouncing these waves! Whee! Whee! All right, let's recover the vessel. Uh-oh. Okay. It's like, you can't recover a vessel while it's still moving. And I'm like, is the water so choppy I'm never going to be able to do a vessel recovery? I'd like wait for it to like have a null speed for a second there. Okay, we got 45 science out of that. That's huge. And Zixi got that now somewhere. I think I have to add it over here, actually. Oh, there we go. See, I was going to say, the Final Frontier mission summary for Zixi, right? Research, EVA. If I close this, if I bring up this, add the button for Final Frontier. This is my favorite mod. This gives ribbons to each one of our Kerbals based on what they do. Zixi got an award for Dangerous EVA, for executing EVA while not in a stable orbit. First landing on Kerbin. The Research ribbon for getting at least 10 science points. The G-Force 3 ribbon for withstanding acceleration of at least 3 Gs for 3 or more seconds. EVA in the water, splashdown, and Operational Service ribbon because you've completed at least one mission as a pilot. Let's get ourselves a scientist. Dokplatos, welcome to our little organization over here, and welcome to science. Let's try to build a little rover. Let's build it over here by the spaceplane hangar. Yeah, I love Final Frontier. It has 0 gameplay impact, and yet the single most important flavor booster. Okay, now if I want to build, hold on, did I not actually? Yeah, okay. Just trying to figure out what I can use as like the first building block. I guess one of those structural panels is going to be the way to go. Let's compare these different ones. Yeah, that's tiny. Okay. There's shortcut keys for all these. I don't remember what they are. With electrical is we don't have batteries. It's modified 90 degrees. Oh, I see. Like, hold on, I'll remember what these commands are. Turn off snapping. Okay, we got those. Turn off that. Turn on snapping. So we'll arbitrarily designate this to be the front, I guess. Feels like it should be centered. But yeah, I guess it doesn't need batteries because it is always going to be exposed to the sunshine as long as we run it during the day. So if we just slap some solar panels on this bad boy. Theoretically, this will work. Oh, the ball probably does have batteries, you're right. And it does. I'm gonna put a few of these. And then 6 of the barometers as well. Here, let's give them some headlights. It's not safety lights, but it'll have to do. Oh yeah, utility over here. I was gonna say, it wouldn't surprise me if we end up going the wrong way here. Is it R? Okay, what are the hotkeys to change the tools? Someone in chat probably already said it. Alright, let's see what happens. Might be too slow with just solar panels. Maybe. We're gonna find out. Is it just 1, 2, 3, 4? Oh, thanks. Maybe that's all it is. I was trying to R for rotate, but that's not it. That's to break the symmetry modes. Fence doesn't need battery transmitting. I just wanted power to be able to move around here. All right. Apparently we can get an EVA report here. I guess I already got the others. All right, let's see what happened. Yeah, this is gonna go backwards. No, it's not. Yes. Maybe it bases it on the facing of the chair. Yes. Oh baby, I want one of these in real life. I have killed more Kerbals doing exactly this than so many other things, because it's really easy to overspeed these things sometimes. Let's say, oh, we do have an electrical charge meter. We do actually have batteries. Or some sort of megajoule charge. I don't know what's storing the electrical charge. Don't have a horn, you're right. That's a shame. And I won't be able to get more EVA reports here unless I leave my seat and stow things, maybe. I wonder if it's based on the Ampere mod that I'm running, which I don't really know what it does, but it was recommended for several other mods. Kerbal probably has some sort of batteries in this suit. That's exactly what it is! It's the Kerbal himself has batteries! I wonder if that's part of the life support mod. Interesting, although it does mean that his charge started at 0. Whee! Whee! They're green with energy reserves. Kerbal has power charges, is this the Matrix? Confirmed, Kerbals are actually battery driven. No need for food or water. Well, apparently we've modded that in. Is it L by default to turn off the lights? Oh, I think you have to put it on I think you have to put it on an action group to have. No, I think L by default. Maybe not. Maybe L's landing gear. Of course, that's going to eat more batteries, but isn't that cool? All right, we're going to get some info from the SPH. That's the space plane hangar, which is this building over here. And we have room for a little more science. Let's visit one of these other buildings. Use for light. Oh, there's another light. Hold on. Okay, hold on. First of all. Oh my god, you can put blinkers on? Okay. Turn those off. If I hit you, we have a suit light. Oh shit. That's cool, but hold on. Stop! 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 Science? Science? Do we have to turn the light on with the blinker on? Oh yeah, and they're linked. I don't know if there's a way to detach the linked status mid-mission. We can't have blinking red lights. That's kind of a safety light. Blink period. Oh man, it's a rave now. Woohoo! Okay, as an experiment. No, it doesn't look like I have an EVA button. Oh, I can leave seat. Right, because I guess I'm already EVAing. I forgot to put the brakes on. I forgot to put the brakes on! Ah! Okay, I can reboard it. It doesn't look like I can grab the science out of this. I could probably reset the other experiments, actually. Oh! Right click, remove from symmetry. There it is. It's right there the whole fucking time. God, I'm smart. I think that was it, right? I think my science full, especially now. Oh, I actually took off for a second there. I was technically off the ground for a moment. Yeah, and there we go. A little more science. I thought I was full on these things. Oh, more. All right. Out of O2, windows are open. And yeah, eventually the Kerbal will die. But I think it's got a while, because it's technically out of life support. That is accurate. I think this is it. I think our science is all full now. I don't know if there's a quick way to see that. Let's just recover the vessel and get some science. By the end of the decade, we'll put a man on Kerbin. You can turn down the brakes on the front wheels. Oh, that's a good point. Lights out and away we go. Kerbal races. Oh, 78 science. Freaking yes. Research 1. First Kerbin surface EVA medal. First Kerbin Rover drive ribbon. I didn't even know they had a ribbon for that. That's excellent. Okay, what I want is general rocketry here. Well, then I guess I still want the advanced rocketry. Oh, I can unlock all that. Boom. And boom. Now, I would still very much like the better command pod, but we seem to be in an okay shape maybe now, sort of, I hope. Cross our fingers. We have an interesting mission. It's just part testing. Yeah, no, okay. We could drive out to this little thingamabob over here. Honestly, it might be worth doing a quick little pick up a bit more science. If we can get another 40 points of science, actually, that would be really nice. Oh, I can launch from the island runway as well. There's probably more science over there. Okay, let's visit the artifact first. Oh, we're going really slow. Probably have to get a bit of a baseline charge first. Well, our power's going to 0 instantly now. You know why? Because the sun's lower. There's not as much charge. You've built a rover quicker than McLaren. Oof. Big oof. Yeah, I don't think we're getting as much electrical charge now. Yeah, the sun exposure, you can see it changes with the angle. We really built a rover that's optimized to run at high noon. At least now we got some momentum. Let's go and check out the obelisk over there. Wee-ha! Giddy up! This is max speed here. Well, it's still going up a little at 10 meters a second. Oh yeah, charge is still going up despite the fact that I'm hitting full speed. But I don't think the wheels are like needing to burn as much anymore. Oh, in before we kill off Tukplotus. Woohoo! Putting together some robotics to adjust the attitude of the panels. That is really cool. There goes plans for sending a rover to the sun at nighttime. Well, I guess I'll need batteries then. You're right. Speaking of, some lights there. Now, if we pointed a light at our solar panel, infinite power! Unlimited power! I've just figured out how to break the game, you guys. Yeah, can I change the brake strength now? Yeah, let's bring the brakes down 30% in the front. We gotta adjust our brake bias here to go into the corners. We change the angle of our front wing as well. That would be nice. I can't even remember if there's signs to be had over here. I'm just assuming that the monolith has some, it counts as a different biome for science purposes. I don't even know. The only thing this is lacking, it's lacking vroom vroom sounds. If I hit C, can I get first person? No, okay. C does toggle the camera to like inside the cockpit for other things, but apparently it doesn't happen over here. Increase the brake in the front to 100% for science. That's DRS. You know what? We could make it. Oh my god, maybe that'll be the dream. I wonder if we installed what's it called? Like FAR, right? The Ferrum Aerospace thing, which adds more accurate aerodynamics. I wonder what kind of like F1-y shenaniganry we could do. Like the air-breathing engine, make a rocket car. Rocket car! Well, we could do that because we could drive to the highlands and the mountains then. Much better to fly, generally speaking. What are your thoughts of the first F1 Grand Prix of 2022? It was extremely exciting. I do feel very bad for Red Bull. You know, I'm not specifically rooting for them necessarily, but that is not the way that I wanted to go. I'm very happy for Ferrari. Red car, represent. Red ones go faster. I was a big fan there. Very sad for McLaren. Very sad. I blame the fact that they broke up the amazing pairing of Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris. My shipping dreams sank when they split them up. So sad. Okay, so let's see how the brakes work. Oh my god! They don't really work! They don't work! It's not slowing down! I'm assuming just backwards is the brakes. Woo-wee! Alright. There, we've killed the speed now. It's okay. Everything's fine. I don't know if there's an actual brake button. I suppose there is. B? There we go. Excellent! Okay. So yeah, I was just doing reverse thrust rather than actual braking. I think this will toggle it on. I think Shift B or something might toggle on the brakes as well, as opposed to just click and hold. Boy, I hope the drive out here is worthwhile. I hope this is a different biome. Oh my god, I'm not sure it's a different biome. It's not a different biome. We drove out here for no science. I mean, it's cool though. Thunk. Not necessarily the best use of our time. Driving to water, new biome solved. Actually, if we'd gotten a little bit closer to the water on the edge, I wonder if that would have counted. No new ribbons. I mean, we're gonna need more daytime if we're gonna do more driving. There's some more science to be gotten. Although, I don't suppose I unlocked more science, did I? Just now? Because that's what we kind of need to do, is actually unlock something that gives us more science. Basic science over here, and then run around. What's the easiest way? The thing that might be the best, actually, is to get enough science to unlock basic science, then do that some more. Fuck it, let's go for orbit. Could possibly go wrong. Several things, actually. Alright, we're gonna do this with the chute on top. One of these extra parts. One of these star shots. It's a firework launcher?! What?! Oh my god, that's great. That's great! Yeah, so this one... Oh. No, so it's really weak. Why did they give me a 0 stat for these? There you go, because of the staging. Yeah, that's quite puny. There you go. Yeah, we do have the Terrier. I forgot we have the Terrier. Man, the default staging... Maybe it gets confused because of the way it stages this thing. Alright, so what's nice about the Terrier is it's very light. It's a very efficient way to finish your thing. You can see here in a vacuum, like this is great for circularization. In the atmosphere it sucks, although in the other atmosphere it's pretty good because it's close to a vacuum. This is a lot of delta V here. Assuming we can get to high enough altitude, then it's going to be lots. Is this an even tinier? Oh no, that's weird. It looks smaller, but excuse me. That's our proper decoupler. Grab 3 of those. We'll grab a swivel engine. It's the torch. Oh, it's tiny. Okay. That's more than enough delta V. And the important thing, though, is how much delta V does the swivel give us? Does it give us enough to get atmospheric? And it does. Now, the one thing, though, we still don't have... We have no reaction wheels that we can add in. There's none built into this. And we can't add reaction wheels. Now, the Terrier, I think, has gimbling. It does. I'm still worried. And yeah, I'm going to keep these together. I'm going to have the other engine launch immediately so we keep some attitude control. It's going to be very important that the second this goes out, I stage, because otherwise we might lose attitude control. We might develop a bad attitude. On. So we'll go with a couple of press mats and a couple of there. Okay, so it's sort of just an evolution of what we had before. Staging looks great. What was the last one called? I want to say, I don't know. What are we calling this one then? Have I it save? Will it show? No, we'll just save it with that name, which is annoying. There we go. The very safe rockets. This is the very safe rocket Mark II. Ah. Oh, I see what's happening. It's because of my my quick mod. Focus follows the mouse. Okay. We don't have a proper safety light. I could throw one of these on with blinking, but it's not the same to me. It's not the same. All right. So this time we are going to throw a pilot back in here. Zixi. This time, space or bust. Possibly bust. Yeah, we need to unlock the safety light. Where is it? Where's my blinking light? Can a pilot just lean from side to side to trim the vehicle? Did I pick the scientist? No, Zixi's in here. Zixi's our pilot. SAS turn on. Thrust full. Alrighty. Can someone get on push? It's a bit of a ponderous launch. But yeah, as long as your surface level thrust is above 0.2, you're going to be okay. Lower than that, you just burn so much fuel to start moving at all. Ready, turn as a go. We'll get the crew report from here. I guess the question is, I'd have enough delta V to orbit. Do I have enough delta V to deorbit? We also, we don't have any way to generate power, which I just realized could be a problem because the Terrier engine doesn't generate power. I should have slapped one token solar panel on this. No! I went too far out of prograde. We might be able to save it. Oh! Saved! Can I not Q&E rotate? Oh no, of course not, because the gimbling won't let me rotate. Fudge! There it goes again! The aerodynamics of the launch vessel is not helping here. Okay, we're not going orbital, we're just gonna try to go to space. Oh, it's so hard. I'm trying to fight to keep this in the prograde. Ooh. Yep, that's not gonna work out at all. Okay. We are not into space to get... Yeah, I think this thing is just so aerodynamically unstable here that it wants to flip backwards, which is what it's doing here, because we've got so much drag on the back, and putting fins on this side isn't gonna help. We really, really need to get the other crew capsule, because it's going to be more aerodynamic and it has reaction wheels, which is going to give us a lot more possibilities. I was going to see if we can push into space here, but it's not going to go. Womp womp. That's too bad. But we'll make it back okay. And we got a little bit more science. I think I should deploy the chute now. Oh, min pressure. Oh shit. We actually might rip apart the chute on the way down. We may have just sacrificed this Kerbal. I mean, I could just force it. There it goes. Okay. So yeah, it limits the deployment versus a certain amount of atmospheric strength. My concern was that we might accelerate too much on the way down. Depends on the drag of this capsule. If the capsule, and I think the capsule is light enough and draggy enough, which is part of our reason that it's flipping over, right? It would have kept us below the critical speed for the parachute deployment. I suspect that's true. I think this entire thing is designed that, unless you're coming from maybe like extraplanetary kind of thing outside the Kerbal system, I I think you'll probably re-enter not too fast. It doesn't have a heat shield, which I guess could be an issue. But otherwise, we're okay. All right. Well, here we go splashing down again. Well, spin stabilization, I don't think I like the idea of doing that when we've got a when we've got someone in the capsule. It feels a little bit weird. Oh, it's covered in heat shields. Oh, so maybe it is really good for perfect re-entry. Maybe I just single stage it. Just do the stupid one to go into space. And then we would get a crap ton more science. Just single stage with the swivel. Just for the purposes of things. I'm 100% for spin stabilization with someone else, not for me though. It is a re-entry vehicle. I guess I gotta put more... I've never played with this device. And the different tech order is definitely messing with things as well. Oh, we got a ton of science. Yeah, okay. Let's take this. We're just gonna make one change. We're gonna pull out the Terrier. Isn't the pressure based on air pressure won't deploy? Yeah, did I say anything other than that? Because that's definitely how it works. It's based on the pressure. Honestly, what's the... I don't think I'd trust this to go orbital. But it'll come damn close. There's still the problem. It's still going to be tricky to keep stable. You know what? Straight up, straight down. There we go. All we want to do is get Zixi to space, and this will do it. SAS, full throttle, go. We want a tiny bit of a tilt so we don't come straight down, mostly because the re-entry is going to be way too aggressive. We want to come in at an angle because what happens when you come in at an angle, there's more air between you and the ground. Instead of 70 kilometers of air between you and the ground, because of a diagonal line, it's a lot more. So we want to go, not that much, for fuck's sake. This thing is so unstable. There we go. I can almost get it. There it is. Come on, stay prograde. Oh my god! No, it's too unstable. Which is funny, because it should naturally want to go to prograde with the fins. If this were the longer, more controllable fins, okay, it explicitly doesn't want to stay prograde. I'm just going to revert it this time just to save time, because we're not going to gain anything. We can land it with safely. Because of the capsule, it explicitly doesn't want to stay prograde. Yeah, we need the other capsule. Unless I guess I could use the, you're right, I could use procedural parts to give it bigger fins. I might be able to just do twin side-by-side rockets and double the gimbling to balance that. The drag on the capsule's been broken for 3 patches. It's off-center. Wait, what? The drag on the capsule is off-center? Well, that would explain a few things. What? I assume the regular capsule Mark 1 is fine, though. So we're just going to unlock some science to get it. Mark 1 is fine. It's not about more verticality, because it actually, the thing is, when it's more stable when I'm not prograde. So on purpose, they don't line up to allow for control. Okay, there's a few more things we can grab over here. I think Aero Force is on re-entry. Oh, is what it's made for. So what we can do, we could just solve it by having like a couple more fuel launchers on the side. Like they'll look like boosters, but boosters don't have gimbling. So by having a couple more gimbling engines on the side, we'll have a lot more thrust control. But it'll be solved if we just get. All we need is a little bit more science. We'll unlock the command module at Mark 1, which is the module you would normally start with without these mods. You would start with that command module, and it's much more aerodynamic, and it has reaction wheels, so the stability just goes up like crazy. Yeah, I think that's a built-in part, but normally you don't start with it. I have one of the mods I have reorganized the tree, and it might have borked it just a little bit. On the other hand, we do get these rover parts earlier than we normally would, which is a hell of a lot of fun. I was gonna say, let's see if we can grab air. I should probably slow things down just a scooch before I hit this ramp. And try to hit it more or less straight on. There we go. That's the administration building over here, which is basically just like a little motorhome. The flag is a biome, so let's visit that. I think we already did the astronaut center, but we'll check. Oh shit, when I'm mousing over to it, oh. I thought the flag was. Do I have to get right up next to it? Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, there it is! Nope. Hug the flag. Urgh! Okay, yeah, I don't know. There it is, okay. Just had to hump the flag a little bit. There we are, good. Okay, go forward. Do you have enough power? Oh, we're out of juice. Flag hump for science. Okay, let's go over here. Rover love. When a rover loves a flag very much. Every time you hear that little sound, that's because we've switched biomes, because we've left the ground ever so slightly. There you go. That's R&D, which is I think that building. Woo-hee! Hump the flag. Quickly out of context, people are gonna have a field day. There's command and control over here, and I think we have capacity for one more experiment. I don't know if there's a display or a mod that will tell me what I still have empty here, but I think we have one more. I might be wrong. Yeep. These slopes are dangerous. Go up the stairs of R&D? Just for fun, or is it another biome? I really want to do a proper orbital launch here. There we go. I think that's done. Hit the brakes. Whoa, the brakes. You think the buildings themselves are biomes, not just the zone around them? Maybe. There you go. Okay, we have 47 science. Hey, nice. Which means we can unlock survivability and get the Mark 1 command pod. Okay. Now watch it turn out this doesn't solve everything. I'm pretty sure it'll solve. I hope it'll solve everything. Mark 1. Suppose I could have loaded something for simplicity, but that's going to be fine. Now this time I definitely do need the decoupler, because it doesn't come with its own. And we do want actually a fairly small fuel tank for this last phase. science up in here. And we don't need a heat shield. Let me make sure that's just set high enough. Or you know what I'll do? I'll set it over here. We don't need a heat shield because we're not going to be re-entering that quick. And I don't think we... Oh, we do actually have one. We shouldn't need one, but part of me is like... Safety first? We really should not need the heat shield. Alright. Stage 1. Oh, we can actually separate these. These are fine. Stage 1. Click, go. Click, go. And 4,200. And the numbers are all... seem pretty good. Pilot. Lunch. Zixie, who's our pilot, says, I would prefer that a heat shield be in place. Safety is among our top 30 priorities. Feels like one of those, feels like the Spanish Inquisition skit, right? Just keep adding extra priorities ahead of safety. Oh, hey! This time for sure! I know I've said that before, but this time for really for sure. Actually, I don't think I've ever said for sure on our manned orbital attempts. It was on some other stuff. 3, 2, 1. All right. SS is on. Throttles to full. Hopefully this doesn't have the instability. I mean, it's basically the same rocket as last time, but with a different command module. Let's hope that does it. No life support. We're going to be returning, well, in theory, we're going to be returning from orbit immediately, and therefore won't need life support added in. And we do actually have a little bit of life support built into this, which I'm actually not sure the other one had. I mean, we don't have a lot of it. You know, we have one candy bar. It's an off-brand candy bar. It's a Mr. OK bar. Mr. Adequate bar, that's what it is. All right. In-flight peanuts? Yeah. I don't give those anymore because I have allergies. Which is fine, because I don't particularly care for the peanuts. What do they give you now? Pretzels. Honestly, I don't know which one I hate more. Okay. Could be gravity turning a little bit more aggressively here, but I want to make sure not to go too far out of prograde. It's so much easier to control. Yeah, we could definitely have been a little bit flatter for a more fuel efficient ascent, although this is a lot safer and more dependable. The flatter you go, the more fuel efficient it is, up to a certain point, but it can become very difficult to control. Crew report, atmospheric pressure scan. No accidental EVA. Fuel is at about 20%. Now we're high enough up I can afford to be a little bit further out of the prograde. There we go, atmosphere exit in 50 seconds. And whoop. There we go. We only need to be above 70K. We're going to lose a little bit of our apoapsis here because of... How do I switch to the... There I am. Oh, man, it's been a while. Now, I really don't want to push the apoapsis up any more than this. But it's a good sign. We're going to have, like, really the idea is this second stage was going to be our orbital burn stage. Now, we're still going to need it. But we've got excess fuel, which is what I figured, because I think it's about 3,500 delta V with like a cleanish ascent. So I can rotate here, although it is using power, but I got a decent amount of electrical charge. I can rotate using the reaction wheel. I'm just trying to get myself flat, because that's where we're going to want to be when it comes to circularization. As soon as we enter space, we'll be able to do some more science experiments. And there we go. We are into space. Temperature scan, atmospheric scan. We're going to get closer to the apoapsis, because the closer to the apoapsis you do your circularization burn, the better. I can't use planned maneuver nodes or anything like that right now. But it's not going to be a long burn. I'll probably start I'll start a little early with the first stage, just so that I've got time to transition between the two. Space! Look at that! Zixie, first Kerbal in space! Now, the trick is going to be to keep enough fuel to deorbit. I think we'll make orbit. Question is the deorbit part. All right, we're coming on 30 seconds to apoapsis, which is the high point over here. And I'm going to go for burn now. We're going to see the periapsis go up. We're going to push the apoapsis a little bit up here, but not much. Mostly what we're doing is raising the periapsis. Let's wibble wobble. And stage. Waiting for separation. And go. There we go. Periapsis is rising. Apoapsis shouldn't change much now. Now, if the time to apoapsis were increasing, it means I burned too early. If it's decreasing, but decreasing slowly, it means we're pretty good. Hopefully it's not decreasing too... There, it's stalled. And now it's going to start increasing, which means we're pushing up our apoapsis more than we'd like. So I'm just going to throttle back over here. And let it keep decreasing, but not too fast. And what's happening is you can see the little circle for our orbit. It's going to widen until it's actually no longer colliding into the ground anymore. Where's my... Oh, there I am. Wow, that was scary. Okay, oh, go for burn. No, we're still pushing it back. There you go. Nearly there. The periapsis is currently underground, so that's the next part of our loop. We want to bring that above 70, because then we'll be in a stable orbit in space. I wonder if it's a mod that's giving these little numbers. That's quite handy. It's not going to be much of a burn now. I'm going to wait until we're about 10 seconds away from it. If we had maneuver nodes, which actually I have enough money to do the upgrades for, but we could actually plan this. Yeah, see, if I go to burn, it's going to dramatically increase this number, which means we're pushing up our apoapsis a bit more, which is using fuel to do something we don't really want. There we go. That's going to be good enough here. And boom! We are now officially in orbit, because the periapsis, which is the low point of our orbit, is above 70,000. So we are now officially in orbit. Now comes the fun. Turn off SAS, because we actually should be stable. EVA! EVA report. Take data. And board. Woohoo! Which means I can get a new crew report. Guys, we survived our first EVA in space! Now, Zixi, unfortunately, has probably ruined her, I think it's a her. The long uniform here. Anyway, ruined their spacesuit. That was very scary. So we're gonna have to get a second pilot for the next flight. And then we'll alternate probably. We'll add more and more people on as we go. All right, it's time to deorbit. The most efficient place to do it is at our periapsis, but we're circular enough that it's probably fine. And turn on SAS. We're gonna turn retrograde, i.e. facing backwards. Let me leave, Murph. And all we're going to do is burn so that the low point of our orbit is in the atmosphere. How low? For this, we're going pretty slow. It doesn't really matter. I'll probably target something. Like 25K is very conservative and safe. We could probably go quite a bit lower, actually. If you go too low, then you're going to come down too acutely. Yeah, this is going to be fine, especially with the heat shield. All right, because we're definitely entering the atmosphere, which means we'll start to slow down. All I have to do is I want to dump this stage over here. So I tend to like to put the stage either above or below me. Not that it really matters, because you'll be spread out anyway. So we will stage. We still have fuel left, but who cares? And anything below 70 will eventually re-enter, yes. Although, sometimes, depending on how it burns you off, you could lose some speed so that you develop a periapsis on the other side that's too low and too sharp. So you get some really weird thing. Yes, as long as some part of your orbit is below 70, you'll re-enter at some point. The question is, will you re-enter it with the attitude that feels good? Or is it going to be too aggro? And go. So we're going to drop that. That'll burn off. God, that is so cinematic. Is it F2, the hotkey? I just hit a hotkey without actually knowing exactly what it did. Like, I think that's the hide UI hotkey. Oh, sorry, was that the self-destruct hotkey? Oh, shit. I'm gonna turn off SAS for a sec. We'll time warp. We can do the full time warp here, as opposed to physics. Times 50 speed. Oh, there was a new situation, but I don't think we actually get some science. We got an auto pause for that, which I could disable. Yeah, I don't think we're actually getting new science. I think if we had these empty, we'd be getting some new science right now. There we go. Make it so that the time warp doesn't stop us anymore. There we are. And boom, we are atmospheric. So I'll turn on SAS. What we want to do is we want to keep our rear end facing into the wind. Now, by default, right now it's on orbital nav ball. We want to put it back to surface. And there you go. Now, this is fairly aerodynamically stable. There's a good chance, in fact, that if we just turn off SAS and let things happen, it would actually keep facing retrograde. Now, that's a little less sure if you're time warping or physics warping like we are now, but it seems to be okay. We could do another EVA now if we really wanted to be gutsy about it. Oh, yeah, no, we can. There you go. I have no SAS on. I'm not putting in any inputs, but this shape is aerodynamically stable enough that it should keep facing that way. I hope these instruments here don't burn off. I think usually the science instruments don't actually have an aerodynamic hitbox, but that might not be the case here. If need be, we can sometimes by rotating the capsule, you can change the angle that the air is hitting, and you can fix it. If we see a little temperature gauge on these things build up, we'll see. But I don't think a lot of the science instruments actually have aerodynamic hitboxes. Now, this is looking pretty good. So you can see our surface speed here is dropping, and it's going to continue to happen as we get into thicker and thicker atmosphere. We're going to slow down more and more and more and more. And the ablator over here is burning away. It's literally, this heat shield, the way it's designed, it's meant to burn away over time. Now, I do feel a little scared not doing this SAS. I'm trusting the aerodynamics of the system right now, which is probably foolish. I should have the SAS on and steer it, but it's sort of a proof of concept of you shouldn't. As long as there's not this. If you've got more to your capsule and things like that, center of mass and different things can shift, and it just doesn't work the same way. But with the simple capsule like this should work with no inputs. I mean, that's the way the sort of Apollo era modules were designed to work. There you go. Air is getting thicker, so we're slowing down more and more and more. But at some point, so already the ablation rate is going down. So the heat that we're getting over here from reentry is burning away. And there we go. We are past, or very, very nearly past the danger zone. Even if you don't see flame, if you go into a tumble, you can still use some parts from like aerodynamic pressure and things. Like at this point over here, it's not really flaming hot, but if you were to go into a spin, some things might still blow off. But all good. A nice thing about being re-entering without SAS is you're not using up any more of your battery power. Not that we were hurting for power. We had a decent amount of reserve over there. And now we're going to continue to slow down. And at some point, was it about 350? Oh, there you go. So it's turned yellow. There you go. Below 500, apparently. It's safe to deploy the chute. For maximum safety, we deploy the chute now. We can also just wait longer, just to reduce the amount of time it'll take us to watch our capsule go down to the ground, which is risky. There's science. Thank you for that. Lovely. There was more temperature to get. Excellent. And we're going to come down over grasslands. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and deploy the chute now. It'll do the full deploy at 1 kilometer. I think it's 1 kilometer above the surface. I think it's got its own radar altimeter for this. It's not 1 kilometer above sea level, which is what this part is. And yeah, because we came in quite horizontally, we burned off tons of speed, very gently. We're going to have no problem. We are landing in a pretty dark area here. Be nice to have some lights shining down below, but it's not like we're steering or anything like that. That's true. You can deploy the chute in orbit. It'll deploy automatically. I mean, the risk with that is it's possible for the chute to deploy from hitting a certain minimum pressure, but when you're still going too fast. I don't know. Or does the game now, because it definitely wasn't the case for a while, does the game now never auto-deploy the chute if it's in the red? And there we go. We're going to try an EVA here. Now that the speed is down, EVA report, and board. And again, got to change that spacesuit. We will now physics warp. Yeah, it'll still shred it, yeah. So you have to be really sure if you hit the button to pre-deploy the chute. And we did see, or in the previous one, where the chute won't deploy if the air pressure is not enough. But you can get in a situation on your re-entry where you're still going too fast when the chute decides it's now got enough pressure to deploy, which is kind of bad. EVA, do that. We'll also take all the data. We'll reboard, get a new crew report, and unfortunately I can't get more temperature and atmosphere scans, but this is going to be very successful. 6 meter per second landing is pretty standard. You're hoping that the seats are a bit padded. I don't know what kind of G-force they experience when they actually touch down. I mean, I suppose it's infinite g-forces, right? From any speed. There's a moment where you're descending, and the moment where your descent speed is 0. So in that moment, your acceleration, I suppose, is infinite. So then it's about energy deployment. 5 to 10 G, yeah. I mean, 5 to 10 G for, like, 10 milliseconds, effectively, is fine. Tons of science. Yeah, baby. Tons of mission markers. There you go. More research. Surface EVA you got. Mach 3 ribbon. First Kerbal EVA. Oh, some of these are the same ones you already have. Maybe not. No, first Kerbal orbit. Oh, maybe they're all new. First Kerbal in space. No one will ever take that away from you. And yeah, tons of science. Explore the moon, which is just do a flyby. I like how quickly it builds up on that. It does give you slightly different missions once you've unlocked certain tech. Now, basic science is going to be a really valuable one, because just by unlocking this, we can then get crap ton more science, including on the surface itself. I guess I didn't realize the basic aviation was so cheap. I actually could have gotten better winglets sooner. For some reason I thought it was a very expensive one, so that's a little bit of a derps. An oops-a-derpsels. Basic construction gives us what? Nothing that's actually critical for a next step. Flight control. Even more winglets. There we go, the inline reaction wheel that we can add to things. We might not need it right away, but that's quite cool. One thing we could do is, at this point, we could go with our rover and just slap some more science experiments on that. That's true, Lumek. It only goes infinite, both the ground and capsule perfectly flexible. And the whole idea is that at least the seat and the squishy parts of your body, they can compress and deform a little bit temporarily and absorb those infinite forces. So you actually don't go from some amount of acceleration to no acceleration instantly. That's an excellent point. Let's open our little rover here. And the thing is, the scientists should be able to like collect and, well, I guess anyone can collect and reset these experiments. It's just very awkward to do it on here. Well, we really don't need the thermometers because we've probably thermometered everything. Although I might leave some on just in case we happen to find a new area. But okay, there's, ooh, that's huge. Which makes sense. Kerbal would be inside of that. I don't know if that blocks the solar panels or if they still work like this. Can we actually do a hinged trailer? I mean, what I can do, I don't know if I can just copy this one part. I don't know if I shift it, or alt it copies like the entire thing. Is there a way to pre-rotate this part? Thank you. Of course, WSAD. Wow, it's been a long time. It's been such a long... It is actually wrong how long it has been since we played Kerbal here. Oh. I just rotated it. There we go. I want to do it this way. There we go. Turn off symmetry. Turn on locking. Put it there. Turn on symmetry. It's a little bit silly, but it will work. If it's silly and it works, then well, it's probably still silly, yeah. I wonder, can I put a second one of these on here? I can flip them together a little bit. Well, that looks foolish. But apparently we're okay with this. You know, I guess this is fine. So this becomes all of a sudden less efficient if it's high noon. looks dumb. Thing's gonna be heavy. Couple of mystery goo canisters. Multi-spectrum scanner. Can we do that on the ground? Only operates in daylight. Well, it's part of ScanSat. Probably not then. Experimental return unit. Since getting destroyed, being recovered. Design experiment return unit. Conical shape. Better survive rigorous re-entry. Oh, is it like the experiment storage unit? Yeah, just different shapes. Okay. But this is like an easy and convenient way to like yoink all the experiments out of something, right? I haven't really played with this. I'm gonna do something like that. Do we have access to ladders? I don't think we do yet. I think it's under utility. Personal pair. No. Who needs one of those ever? Oh, we can have a battery pack, which actually we should have a battery. I'm wondering if this is gonna tip over backwards. Let's front load a little bit more weight. Canadian designing space rover, of course it looks like a Zamboni. Ha ha ha! Oh, before we go any further, let me make sure to drop down the brake pressure in the front immediately. I mean, we could have this be a rocket-powered thing. Oh, that's right, we can turn on center of mass. It's actually surprisingly centered. I'm shocked. All right, Mark II Rover. Save. Put the scientist on there, and go. I'm not the scientist, I'm 100% for plan Rocket Rover. I mean, that's true. If you had to deal with rockets under your ass, you're going to volunteer other people for doing it, right? Okay. Mystery goo. Oh, it looks different. Possibly from one of my mods, or potentially something else. There you go. This science thing open. Oh, it looks cool inside. Collect all. Right, it's inoperable, but I have a scientist. I should be able to reset things. Okay, listen. Turn on the brakes. Does the scientist have to be higher level to be able to do it? Maybe I can't do it from the seat. Can lower the visor. Oh my god, that's cool! Suppose I could remove the helmet, since we're in open air. Oh, there we go. Restore. Is it maybe it's mods that I used to have where like if as long as you had a scientist on the ship, they could do a slightly long range restore. Actually, I don't think I have to be that close. I think I just can't do it from the chair because I was really close here. I'm thinking it's just because I can't do it from the chair. Oh, this thing handles like a steakhouse. Oh boy. It added some more wheels. I guess I can you not do the throttle thing? I thought I could do the throttle thing and just have it go on its own. Oh, my brakes are enabled. Shut up. No, apparently I still can't do the throttle thing. Hey! Turns out when you take off the brakes, it should have been like horrible sounds like screech, screech, screech. I remember the first time someone was trying to teach me how to drive standard. They didn't say that you had to release the parking brake. So I'm like, oh, I'm having the hardest time going. I keep stalling. It's like, I think I'm releasing the clutch at the right time, you know, trying to get it into first gear. They couldn't figure out the problem. They thought I was just really bad at shifting. I didn't realize the car had the parking brake on. I don't know. Because when you're in an automatic, you don't really deal with that. Well, I can reset this. Okay, so hold on. Collect all. I can reach this one. Oh no, now I can't. What? That's interesting. It had the option a second ago. You know, they're giving me the step-by-step instructions. Nice, falling in your face. You know, do this, do this, do this. So I do that, do that, do that. And then it doesn't really work. And I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, it turns out you gotta know how to teach. You can't forget steps in your head. It's hard to do tutorials. You collected? Yeah, no, that's fine. So this doesn't collect from that, maybe. Feels like I haven't hit this a couple times. Maybe it depends on where you hit. I suppose that's possible. Whee! Alright, so that one's fine. Yeah, those are fine. And then I can get back into the chair. Thump. And brakes are engaged. Shut up. Oh, we're gonna get so much free science here, you guys. You lose science if you reset without collecting. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, you literally don't get the science. Did I accidentally do that? No, because it would have come up again as a proper science. Because I can get a tiny scooch more science from repeating things, but barely. Might be worth it. Alright, let's go to the display pane thing. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, I know, no food, no snacks. I don't remember, is there a life support, like, indicator? Yeah, right here. But yeah, I don't know when they die. It is a while, whatever it is. Face playing hanger. So, someone was thinking the actual building, I mean, the zone itself, if I get close to the building, because I have a second goo and a second, thingy. Can't remember if I can go in the front over here. Let's just try to go inside the building, see if it makes a difference. This feels like driving my van. I'm super cool, guys. I got a minivan. Hey! There is... Oh my god! There isn't a second site. Huh. Okay, apply the brakes. Wait for that to complete. Good. Okay. Leave seat. Done. Yeah, that is totally new to me. Oh, I'm doing storing. It's not auto-collecting, but still. Collect the goo. Yes, I know. You know what? Don't show me this again. Fuck off. Collect data. Restore. Because, yeah, it, like, threatens. It says, you're going to lose things. It's like, no, no, no. I'm not losing things. I'm collecting it. It's like, I realize I can't run it a second time normally, except I'm a scientist, so I can restore it. Just go around for the other goo canister. No! What? Hang on. Oh, that's transfer something else. That's not what I want to do. I want to go collect all, because I want to collect it from the atmospheric things. Because the atmospheric thing and the temperature thing, you can collect it without losing anything. Okay. Oh, did I not get an EVA report while I was out my seat? Oh, I can do it. It wasn't working from this button before, but okay. Alright, brakes off. Let's go. So excite. Much fun. But this is really the trick. Especially if you've got mods that, like, change the order of things that could make it a little bit more difficult. This is the thing you want to do, is you do want to do a rover. You want to collect as much as possible. I mean, it's training for the moon. I'm going to remove this neck ring. There we go. Get a little more comfortable. Brake! Brake, damn it! Slow down! Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Good. Everything can be stored. That's fine. Okay. Whee! So, can we get inside the vehicle assembly building? Is that a thing? Oh, I hope it's not... It might be duplicating some of these things, I just realized. Oh, we'll find out in a second. Oh no! Wheels are too small! The wheels on the Rover need to go round and round. I don't know if I can get up on this. Can I get up over there maybe? I'm not sure. Where the little road is? Or if it's just not showing me the... No, it's still got a lip. Dang it. Go! Full speed! There you go! Just gotta pull a Clarkson. Power! That is a different site. Oh. How do I... There you go. Okay. Got it. Thump! I'm gonna destroy my machine here. Alright. Hit the brakes. Let's do a collect all. And we'll leave seat. EVA report. Oh, I can hear Bella running around. And, okay, you've been collected, so you need to be restored. Restore. Restore. Boom, 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 boom. No power. We do have a battery pack, so we don't have to worry about running out of juice from being in the shadows here. Whee! And board. Okay. And take a... But I think there's more experiments we could do by humping the building, but I wonder if there's a better place. I'm betting if you land on top of this, that's the easiest way to collect the full science from this building. Maybe at the backside? Yeah, I think it's from the center of the device, not where the experiment is. There we go. This worked. Bam. I'm like, maybe there's another sweet spot. Because, like, it depends on where the hitbox or however they're counting things. I think this, which we haven't collected science from it, I think right there is another biome. It's like where you transfer your rockets from the VAB to the launch pad. I think this is another biome. This is going to be a little rough here if there's another lip. I know, we're fine. Yeah, there you go. Pretty sure. Boom, 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 and boom. Excellent. Collect all. And then leave seat. EVA report. Get up off the ground. Run, 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 run. Restore. Restore. One more. Restore. There's some more to do, but at this point, we probably have enough science for something else. And then at some point, you're like, you stop messing with this because if you just go to space, you're going to get crap tons more science. The goal is to, and we don't have to do the launch pad because our actual ships, we'll just grab that later. Yeah, we want to grab a bunch of quick science, enough quick, cheap science to be able to bootstrap the actual real valuable science. And yeah, the fact that we can kind of double dip on these buildings by trying to ride up onto it that's new information to me. And I played a lot of Kerbal. Holy crap. Like, a lot of people don't know you can go and farm science from just these little spots like this. I didn't realize the actual buildings themselves count as a separate biome entirely. Stop! Because this is a spot too, which is different from the building itself. I like how this turns red whenever I'm accelerating. I guess because we're losing power rather than producing it. God damn, look at that. Now I have to empty these containers before I can do them. Collect all. EVA report. Or collect all again. And yeah, I can't do this. I can't do it while seated. That is really weird. So yeah, leave seat. Fall down. Watch us kill our Kerbal. Oh, I didn't put the brakes on. Restore. Restore. Now we're gonna get killed by getting run over by our own Rover. How embarrassing. I might not need to run around. The radius is actually pretty good. It's possible I don't actually have to run around to do this. There we go. Material, observation goo. I'm just keep pressing against the building here. There we go. We got that. Perfect. Well, we can do a little bit more. Yeah, I don't usually farm all of it, but this one's going pretty well. You want to get enough to bootstrap, but because our science tree is a little bit tougher here, I feel like a little bit more is going to be useful. And the problem is, it's like, well, just another 30 seconds and I can get this one. Then it's just another 30 seconds I can get that one. When we're going to unlock more science experiments, and I'm not going to do this again. This is my last go. So I'm partly like, and especially the fact that I can double dip because there's the building, like the area around the building, and then the actual building humping itself. And we can get double value. That's pretty tempting. Okay, stop. Oh my god. This is so heavy. Oh. I need to collect all. Leave seat. Forget to put the parking brake on again. Oh, but this time I'm on the machine. No, now I've fallen. Oh, no, there is a little bit of a range. Restore. Get closer. Get closer. Restore. And restore. And back in the seat. Material study. EVA report, mystery goo. We'll do one more little material study just for a tiny microscopic amount more science. All right, let's recover this vessel. That's going to be a lot of science. That's going to be a lot of science. 234 science? Oh no, that's my total. But no, 195 science. Almost 200 science from this, and we'd already had a little bit of it. Yeah, there's another ribbon. 200 more. That's massive. I mean, we definitely have no problem getting to the moon at this point. The big thing is, like, we probably want to get something that might give us more science to bring with us to the moon. Oh, ladders or mobility enhancers. Those are always fun. Hitchhiker, storage, EVA repair kit, jetpack for the EVA. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, I love the fact that Kerbal added in basically the Kerbal inventory system. Experiment control station. Coordinates and controls with power and data from nearby deployed parts. Coordinate sending back. Oh, this is the thing where you like deploy things on the ground, right? And it soaks it in a radius? See, I haven't played with any of that. It's been a while. The last time I played was maybe 1.1, and that was a while ago. Because they're not doing as much development anymore because they're working on Kerbal 2. Now, going to the moon, we will get out of radio range, but that's not actually an issue. Can be used split in water into hydrogen and oxygen, can support up to 8 Kerbals. Make sure not to use all the water, it makes Kerbals angry. I think by this, I think it makes enough oxygen to support 8 Kerbals. But yeah, of course you still need the water. Container uses CO2 and hydrogen to generate water. There's their cycle. And then water purifier. Purify dirty water into clean water. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what we get next. We are ending the stream here. It is 4 o'clock. So I'm not going to spend it right now. We're going to think about what we're doing with this next week. This Saturday, I believe we're going to be starting a Let's Play of RimWorld. Monday, Football Manager. And the next Monday, I think, is going to be more of this. Yeah, and it would be great to do a space station. We've done one before with different mods. We haven't done one with this exact combination of stuff. And that could be really, really cool. Especially as we grab more of the life support stuff. Heat management, hydroponics. Yeah, baby. Advanced logistics. Storage. And then, yeah, faster than light. I've never played with any of the mods that add FTL shit. I'm quite curious. The other thing that's a good way to kill a lot of Kerbals is doing airplane stuff. Airplanes kill more Rovers probably kill more Kerbals of mine than the rockets ever do. Airplanes, death machines. This is not a flight simulator. It doesn't really work exactly. Is that a Death Star? Orbital megastructures. Planes are Kerbal shredders, says Animal Accurate. Exactly. But they are a hell of a lot of fun to make. And here's the thing, if you are desperate to try to get some more biome data because you're sort of stuck, you can't do anything else, building a plane that just goes and flies over the highlands and the mountains and things like that and the desert can be a good way to get some extra science. But it's not going to be a lot. You get the amount of science you get multiplies from being in space, being around another body by like the moon, eventually getting to another planet. The amount of science you get goes like Super Saiyan. It's a pre-made mod pack. It's not, but if you follow the link, where it goes quillicteam.com/mods, there's a CCAN pack you can download there, and you can use CCAN, which is the tool I use to get my mods, and it'll bring that in. Now, this technically, it's slightly out of date. I made a couple more changes right before the stream. I'm going to re-export that now, or as soon as I end the stream. I'm going to re-export those, so just refresh the page. You'll see the timestamp change, and then you can click. It's just a little text file that you can bring into CCAN, and it'll have exactly the same mod setup as me. So that can you build a Hubble or JWST class space telescope? There is one of the mods I have. No, that's not what I was hoping for. Does build a giant radio telescope. Is there light mirrors, thermal dishes, electronics, experimental science? There is like a big radio telescope that we can build. It looks really cool when deployed. I haven't done it yet. I've only seen screenshots because I hadn't had the mod yet. But it's somewhere in there. Was it here? The quantum gravity. What the fuck? All right. Yeah, I don't know. It's like the triple Z. Oh, right here. Advanced Science Tech. Triple Z Radio Astronomy Telescope. There it is. And yeah, it expands huge. It actually has its own reaction wheel. So as long as it's got some like power generation attached to it, it's basically self-sustaining, which is kind of nice. All right, we're going to wrap it up here. I think Kiss for Luck might not be streaming, although Rhino might in her stead. No, she had a doctor's appointment. Let me just check the channel over there. Ooh! Rhino is playing City Skylines, so if you want some building, you're going to do that. Otherwise, yes, we're going to see... I'll see you guys Saturday for probably RimWorld. Monday, Football Manager. Wednesday, more Kerbal. Thanks a lot, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.